Now let's go ahead and create three topics as per our requirement. We need three topics named albums, artist, and tracks. Let's go to topics. Let's delete the old topic. Let's create topic named albums. We can increase number of partition to 3. Rest we can just leave it as default. We can increase this to 3. Next is artist. Now let's increase this to 3. Now we have successfully created three topics with 3 partition each. We have retention time as 7 days, retention size is 256 MB. Now let's go ahead and write a Python application that will read data from CSV file and write it to our respective topics. I have already written the scripts. We'll go and see the scripts first. Now we can copy this, paste it here. Now what we are gonna do, we first import Kafka producer, pandas library and JSON. Then we connect to our producer API. We read a CSV file using pandas library. Now we'll parse each data points that is present inside track.csv. Our track.csv file has around 4,38,000 records. So we'll go through each record and we'll convert that record into a JSON type once, and we'll encode it into UTF-8. Once we have converted into JSON type, we can send to our respective producer. It is tracks and not producer topics. We have a tracks topic here. So it will connect to that producer and it will go on sending the message. And we'll write message produced. That is gonna be our producer application. That is very simple. Next, let's go ahead and see a consumer application. Now let's understand what our consumer is doing. Our consumer is reading data from Kafka topic and writing it into a staging layer of our S3. So now let's see. Now for that we need to import consumer library, pandas, JSON. We'll see why we are using random and string. We are using Boto3. We need Boto3 because our EC2 instance need to write data to S3. So we need to connect to a S3 client. So for that we need Boto3. We'll see why we are using generate random string. First we connect to our consumer API, then we use S3 client. This is our bucket name. Whatever bucket name we have, we can provide it here. Now we have our data list. So what we are gonna do, we are gonna read data from a producer application. Now it will go on pinging the consumer API, and once data is read, it will append it into a data list. Then we'll read data in batch of 10. Once we have 10 data points inside our data list, it will convert that into a data frame. Then it will write that CSV file to the buffer, and it will now create a file name. Since we need to write many files, we need to generate some random names. For that we are using generate random string. It will take length as a parameter and it will generate a string of length random string. So basically that will give us a S3 key. Inside our S3 bucket named DE project Kafka, we will be having a staging folder wherein we are going to write this CSV file, and S3 client.put object is helping us to write that to our S3 bucket. Then we'll print we have successfully uploaded. Now our consumer application will be always running and will write the data to our S3 bucket. So this is how our consumer is gonna work. So let's copy this code for all three topics, that is albums, artists, and so on. So let's copy the producer code to artist producer. The topic that we are gonna use is artist. The CSV file that we are gonna use is artists.csv, right? The topic name is artist.csv, and that is all right. Now let's copy this again and write to albums. The topic name that we are gonna use is albums. And the file name that we are gonna use is albums.csv. That is our producer.py file. Now let's go to consumer.py file, copy this, go to consumer.py of artist, paste it here. Now the topic name is artist. We need to connect to this. We will write into, now we need three folders, right? So we need, inside staging we also need artist folder, because we need to differentiate which consumer is writing where. So staging/artist, copy this. Now we'll go to this consumer, it is albums. This is correct. Now we need to put here also albums, right? Everything else is all right. Now that our producer and consumer applications are ready, we are gonna now create S3 bucket. Then we'll create a EC2 instance and host our consumer and producer applications there.